Hello, everyone. It's me, Maritza, of the Civil Heart, and I am going to do a tarot reading, but first I want to do a little housekeeping and some catch-up time. So, I've been away for quite some time. Crazy stuff has happened, I'm sure, for everyone. But also some good things, I hope. I personally, for a while, I have been studying Jungian psychology, and I think it's been for the past 4 or 5 years that I've been studying it, and I feel like I've only just scratched the surface. Like, I'm only just now beginning to understand it. And I should say, I'm beginning to understand Jungian psychology on some level. And I say that because there's still so much that's a bit foggy for me. But anyway, with studying Jungian psychology, one of the things that students do is work with their dreams and the dreams of their friends. Whoever is willing and able to give dreams to the student, in this case me, because in Jungian psychology, dreams are used as a method to get in touch with the psyche. And I've kept a dream journal for many, many years now. I've kept a journal in my notes app, whatever note-taking app I use. I can't remember what it's called. Since at least 2018, but I've begun to handwrite my dreams again in a dream journal. Which that's been a journey in and of itself. Is handwriting my dreams. And that's only been happening for like the past month or so. Maybe even less than that. Because I had been going through a period that was pretty active in dreams. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. So my outer life, not much has changed except for, whatever big collective thing has been happening. But in my personal life, not much. Things are the same, but It's just a different day. But in my inner life, I feel like something has blown open, right? Like, I feel like like it feels like such a big journey that I've been on, and it's so important to me, and it means so much to me. I feel like something has changed within me since taking my studies even more seriously than I had been before. And as a result of this, my spiritual practice has evolved in where I don't rely on it as much as I used to. Like, for example, I've cast a few spells here and there, but they've been extremely important rather than just, oh, this is the day when I cast this spell or whatever. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but the only times I've cast a spell since I've been gone was when I felt like there was no other way for me to protect myself, if that makes sense. And that's only happened once for sure, maybe twice, but I think I'm misremembering something in the second one. But so yeah, I'm not as reliant on my witchcraft / spiritual practice. Which I find, the other thing I want to mention is that I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's like a couple of years ago, I was using my witchcraft practice to have fun, but also I was taking it seriously, but mostly it was to have fun. Now it still has that same, there's a word for it, but I can't remember. It still has that same energy, I'm gonna say, but it's also it's not as it still has that fun but serious energy, but it's also now become more of that. Oh my god, that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So that's where I'm at. Dreams are incredibly important. I actually have a Google Forms if you want to get in touch with me for tarot readings. I am available. I've been available since I left and took a break, whatever this was, and I've made a Google form for those of you who would like to ask for a reading. My tarot readings, all of them are free. I'm not going to do this business bullshit. I hate it. I've tried it. I hated it. Can't do it. And yeah, so also it's also because I'm not a very good salesman, salesperson. And so I can't attract people to my tarot readings. Like, it's going to have to be, you have to come and find me if you want a reading. Like, I'm not going to advertise anywhere, except of course on here. Anyway, so yeah, that is what I'm doing. If you want to get a reading from me, I have links where you can schedule a reading or fill out a form so that you can tell me a little bit about what you want and a little bit about why you're coming to me for a reading. So like a little bit of background information to any question you might have or whatever. And again, my readings are free. I will never contact you for money or whatever. Like, but please know that there are people who do impersonate other readers, and just be aware of who you're speaking with. Anywho, so there's that. Links are in the description box below. I have my coffee here. So I will be taking sips of it here and there once it cools off, because it's boiling hot right now. But yeah, so you'll hear that. Right now, let's see, what is that's December. Why am I in December? Okay, we are in the waxing phase of the moon, and the moon is in, currently it's in Aquarius, but it will enter Pisces later today. Oh, and Saturn goes direct also later today. So Aquarius / Pisces is the moon phase. Waxing phase in Aquarius / Pisces. And waxing means that soon the moon will be full. It's increasing in brightness. And energetically, what that means is it can actually mean whatever you want, but traditionally it means that we're essentially revving up to get our energy focused and active into where we want it to go. So I have my cards here. And let's get started. What messages do you have for us on this waxing moon in Aquarius / Pisces? What message do you have for us? Sorry to interrupt, but just to be clear, this is a collective message. I'm just making note of the moon phase and the sign that it's in, or signs that it's in. It does not mean that you have to have your moon in Aquarius or Pisces, but if that's the case, like, that is also very good. Okay, what messages do you have for us? The waxing moon in Aquarius and Pisces. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. We have the Three of Swords upright. So I'm seeing energy that is feeling stuck or stagnant. The Three of Pentacles reversed may be speaking to some of you about energy that is unfocused, so you may be feeling like you're all over the place. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed is speaking about not knowing which direction to go in, and perhaps even a feeling of no discipline. No discipline. Undisciplined. Like it's, yeah. Basically what the Three of Pentacles is saying, which is like, you don't really have somewhere to focus your energy on, because you are giving your energy to a lot of different things perhaps, or maybe even you're giving your, I'm seeing I just remembered the Three of Swords, and here's what I think the point is that you're perhaps giving your energy to something that is endlessly siphoning it away, in a sense. Like, it's just, you're giving it so much energy, but it just keeps wanting more. And it's giving nothing else in return except emotional pain, let's say, or which will eventually turn into some kind of emotional trauma. For some of you, this could be literally a person. I'm saying that because the Knight of Pentacles reversed is here. But really, I feel like it's more of an energetic thing. Like you're just focusing, or not focusing really on one specific thing. Probably because you want to accomplish many things all at once, but obviously that's impossible. You're being more ambitious than you can handle. And I feel like the Knight of Pentacles reversed is saying you need to add more focus and discipline to what you can handle right now. I should add what you can realistically handle, because the pentacle cards represent the element of earth, and earth is grounded in reality and what you can realistically accomplish. And the earth element is very practical, very common sense. And I feel like the Three of Swords is here to say you need to be careful or else you're going to hurt yourself. Okay. Then we have the Moon. So the first thing I immediately think is this is going to be a difficult thing for you to accept, because you have this image of yourself as being a highly motivated or highly ambitious person, and but that has caught up with you. Like, for whatever reason, right now, that illusion that you're this highly ambitious, highly motivated person is going to crack, because you are taking on more than you can handle. And it's going to cause a lot of harm in one way or another. Then we have the Two of Cups reversed. Okay, so if you're not careful, you're going to hurt your most important relationships, including the one with yourself. So, that's just what immediately comes to mind when I see these cards together. And tying in what we've been talking about. Then we have the Chariot. So here I think the Chariot is saying you need to focus on what you can realistically handle before it's too late. Um, So I find it interesting that the Chariot and the Moon are in the same reading, because the Chariot represents Cancer in tarot astrology. And the Moon is where Cancer resides, let's say. Or the Moon is where the Chariot, no, the Moon is where Cancer feels most comfortable. And perhaps if you're not careful about where you are applying focus and discipline, you might end up hurting the relationships that make you feel the most at home and the most comfortable and the most secure and safe and stable. And then when those relationships start to crumble, you yourself are going to realize that you've taken on more than you can handle. You've let your relationships suffer for it, and it's just a price that you are unable to pay or unwilling to pay, and it's going to hurt a lot. So yeah, I think these cards are saying be incredibly careful right now. And then we have Justice reversed. Okay, so I immediately think of the phrase, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So in this case, you're going to have to go through a bit of the crumbling facade that you've created for yourself, this highly ambitious, highly motivated person that you believe yourself to be. You've allowed that to take over who you are in truth. And so to realize that, you're going to have to overextend yourself and have this image of yourself crack in order for you to understand what is actually important. And then we have the 8 of Cups. Wow. So this is going to cause you to gain some distance. You're going to need some distance from all of this to gain some clarity and some perspective on that discipline and focus that you need, or gain some clarity on how much you can realistically handle. And I say that because I don't think you're wrong in seeing this image of yourself and being motivated and highly ambitious, etc., etc. The thing that is wrong is that you're letting that be the only thing about yourself that gives you a sense of identity. You've kind of let it I don't know if I want to use this word, but you've allowed this aspect of yourself to possess you. And it's beginning to become aggressive and unhealthy. So then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. And here I'm seeing a loosening or even letting go of this image of yourself, because you have done the work to sorry, that's my cat. You've done the work to realize that you need to actually let go of that image of yourself, that part of your identity. Or again, not let go, but like loosen up a little with the image that you're giving. Whoa. Okay, and then the card at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords reversed. So I'm thinking the Queen of Swords reversed is here to cut she's ready to cut that image that you have of yourself, to bring it back down to reality. Or really, I should say, to bring it back into reality. I keep seeing the Two of Cups reversed, and I'm thinking, like, consciously, I feel like you don't you feel like your closest relationships, the ones that you hold dear, You feel like they'll always be there, but on some level, I feel like you understand that they are suffering with your ambitions and your high motivation. But once you gain the perspective from the Eight of Cups, you're going to see that they've actually suffered more than you realized, and that we're pretty close to the final straw. And I feel like the Queen of Swords is kind of giving that realization, like, please be careful, please wake up to the suffering that the strain that you're putting on your relationships, especially the ones that are most important to you. All right, well, oh wait, hold on. Let me go through the astrology here. For those of you that feel it's an important part. So we've got earth signs with the Knight of Pentacles. And of course the Knight of Pentacles is reversed, so we want to think about the darker aspects of the earth sign. So their stubbornness, like the kind that is just really stubbornness, their criticalness, especially the sharp kind that hurts. And yeah, I can't think of any other darker aspects of earth signs. Earth signs, by the way, are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And then we have the moon with the moon. So that's, we want to, when the moon shows up, we want to think about stability, home, possibly childhood, memories, or core memories. Not just childhood memories, but core memories that have happened throughout our lives. And we also want to think about ancestry and the roots we come from. With the Chariot, we want to think, the Chariot is Cancer. So we can think about motherhood or a relationship to our own mothers. We want to think about, again, childhood, our roots and our home life. With Justice, we want, why do I keep saying that? With Justice, it's Libra. And since it's reversed, we want to think about the darker aspects of Libra. So, charming, but if we look at charming in a twisted way, it's manipulation. So yeah. And they can have a tendency to lie. And then with the Queen of Swords, we have air signs. And she's reversed, so darker aspects is that they have a tendency to be flaky, unfocused, and what else? Immature, perhaps. And air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, so that is the reading for this waxing moon in Aquarius/Pisces. Leave any thoughts or comments in the section below, and please leave a like if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.